Ladies and gentlemen, you know who he is. You know this is our feature star of Warsaw Comic Con, Mr. Ian Somerhalder.
Wow. Thank you guys for waiting for so long for me. How are you feeling? Whew. I can honestly say that I have met every single one of you. And your energy and your eyes and your soul and your stories are so beautiful and warm and kind and sophisticated. It's like crazy. I've never been to a country where everyone is like, excuse my language, I know there's some little ones in here, but I've never been to a country where everyone is so fucking enlightened. It's beautiful. How do you translate like enlightened or level, you know? How do you like
In Polish?
Yeah.
I don't know. You're just like freaking intelligent. You know what you're talking about. You are zajebiści.
Sophisticated. Yeah.
Zajebiści.
Paul taught me that word yesterday. So this is not about me talking. This is about you asking questions and Raphael doing his best to translate for me in English.
English to English, sophisticated. There you go. We cannot do like half an hour, guys. Ian has been doing, you know.
No, we can do a half hour.
Yeah?
Unless they're going to venue. No.
Wow.
No, we're going to do a full, as long as you guys can go, because we should do a full panel, because it has been a long day, and now it's time for you to speak, for sure. No. Let's give everybody, unless you guys are just sick of hearing me, and that's totally cool. But other than that.
My bus is going in 10 minutes. Shit, I have to stay.
But I mean,
unless
if the venue is going to kick us out in like 10 minutes, fine. We can go into the parking lot.
Now, it's more comfortable here. Thank you for doing this. We didn't expect it to be with you here for half an hour. Great. Let's do some questions.
Hi, nice to meet you again.
Nice to meet you too.
And it's really nice of you that you will hear us and stay here for so long. And I think I should ask you a question. Where you've got so many energy and so many power to stay here? Because you know everyone is just people and we are tired, but you are so cool that you are stay here.
Cocaine. No, you guys, the energy I get from you, and I was just literally telling my beautiful brother over here who takes care of me and protects me, that the amount of energy that I get from you, you know, there's two in life, not to be too cerebral about it, but in life, hey guys, in life, you can make the choice to allow people to suck your energy, or you can make the choice to feed off of others' energy. Now, you willingly give me so much energy that it's impossible. Sure, we're all tired, like physically our joints and muscles are tired because we've been standing and we've been running around. But the energy that you give me is it makes my brain work, and it makes my soul and my heart work. And you give it to me. So, thank you. Hello.
Hello, hi.
How are you?
So,
You got to make this one quick, though, okay? Because I want to make
yeah,
sure I get to
sure.
everyone else.
Sorry.
You're my buddy. I just reminding you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So.
Don't apologize. There's nothing to apologize about.
Yeah. Okay. Very quick. So, what I was always wondering, because I did my high school project on your foundation
Oh, really?
way back, like I'm old, so it was like 5 years ago. But you and Sophia Bush actually. Yeah, but
awesome.
anyway, leave her out of this.
Wow,
So-
my high school was 22 years ago, 23 years ago. That's crazy.
So I was wondering if in 10 years' time, do you see yourself more as an actor, or will you dive into your work as humanitarian and
In
yeah.
10 years,
Yeah, let's say 10 or 5.
hopefully in 10 years, we will have corrected this really insane path that we've been on, globally, politically, environmentally. But in 10 years, I can guarantee you, I will have done as much as I possibly can. But in 10 years, I will be not only retired, but I will be on my ranch with my family and my kids and my animals, and you will probably not hear from me at all. You will know that I am there and happy, but I plan on busting my ass for the next 7 or 8 years and doing as much as we can in this space of activism and empowering a generation. My goal is to build schools that will, if you think about it, right? With the amount of women coming into power, which is really good. Yeah, it's big. I mean, the United States Congress has 100 women in it. Countries like Germany are run by women. This is a very good thing for society. So hopefully in 10 years, because look, the world or humanity, I see you cuties, the world for the last 350,000 years has been run by men, and it got us here. So hopefully the next decade is the great shift where everything is now run by women. It's time for them to have a chance.
Just look at this audience.
Yeah.
95% women.
So hopefully in 10 years, I won't have to do a fucking thing because you guys will be doing it. I just want to go raise my kids and my animals and hang with my family because you guys will have set the world straight. Because honestly, I'm tired and I want it to change. So that's where I'll be.
Thank you.
You rock, man. Great question. Thank you.
Next one, please.
Hi.
Hi.
Easy questions. What's your favorite season and why?
Of
In the Vampire
Vampire Diaries.
Yes, yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm tired. One, for sure, 100% number one.
Oh,
Season
until-
1 was unbelievable. The other seasons were incredible. It's just season 1 was the epitome of who Damon Salvatore was. And yes, he was an asshole for sure. There's no two ways about it. I mean, this guy, he was not a great person by any means, but he was dynamic, he was fun, and he believed in what he was doing so much that he really enjoyed it. And that's a fun thing to see. I often think about my tenure as Boone in Lost, and I realized I was 25 when I played that role. Here's the thing, when you're 25, you're very serious and kind of out of control because you're in your 20s. You don't really know what the hell is going on. You're trying to figure out who you are, what you are, and I played that Boone role so seriously. There's no levity in Boone. And now I realize it's probably why he died. And why Damon was the exact opposite of that character. And I realize, even amidst a horror genre show or the greatest characters in the world, even if they were terrible, really loved what they were doing. They may have ill intent for righteous reasons, which are the scariest people in the world. Just look at what's going on in the world. But Damon, this was a guy, I used to always say this, this was a guy who had the same look on his face if he was saving a kitten out of a tree or he was literally ripping your throat out. Same face, like this.
Thank you. I love you.
You know what I mean? Thank you. Free hugs, that's a great sign.
Hi, it's Sarah, and from the beginning, I'm not really want to talk about the Vampire Diaries, but about your Ian Somerhalder Foundation.
So beautiful.
Could you tell us how it began and from where do you have idea for that and, you know?
Thank you for asking that. I mean, listen, ISF came from feeling helpless, right? You know, sometimes, you know when you feel helpless, it's not something you want, especially in your adult life or even in your teen life or in your young adult life now. If you look at, oh gosh, her name, she's my girl. Greta, well, Nikki, of course, is my girl. No,
You
Greta.
have more girls? What's happening?
Greta is, oh man, I'm so tired. How am I forgetting her last name? She's the 11-year-old activist right now, 12-year. Huh? Yes.
The Swedish girl who doesn't go to school to fight the fight.
She is a voice and an energy that I wish every kid was. And that kid is going to change the world. By uniting students and young people, you will change the world. Because right now, most teenagers are like this. And so are most adults. This shit, it's like what we talked about last night. You know what I mean? It's no surprise. This is so addictive. These things are like heroin. It's bad, folks. But ISF came from the Gulf oil spill. Remember 10 years ago when the big oil rig exploded and the Gulf of Mexico was really kind of destroyed, full of oil? I started it to be an amplifier, a mouthpiece for your voices, right? Because a lot of voices aren't heard the way they should be, and I wanted to use my platform as being a famous actor. I hate that word, famous, but I don't mean hate. Hate is a very strong word. I truly dislike the word famous, but it does help when you want a platform to speak on. And for me, ISF was about building the greatest generation of mankind ever. But to do that, it's a really big job, right? So how do you do that? Well, if you think about it, you can't build a house or this building. If you built this building without the foundation, what's it going to do? It's going to fall. So I think if we want real, consistent, global change, we have to build the next generation literally like a house from the ground up, right? And I think there are three things that are missing in society right now. And there are three things, unfortunately, it's kind of elusive, right? You can't teach these three things. You have to show them through experiential learning. But that's hard, and it's expensive. So those three things that are missing in the world right now that I know are missing are gratitude, reverence, and compassion. Now, if those three things existed in every human being in the world, we would have no problems. And so my goal and the goal of ISF is really to build, and I'm calling on high net worth individuals all over the world, whether you're in Germany, you're in Spain, you're in Poland, you're in Ukraine, you're in England, wherever. There's enough money out there to build a place where young people can go to learn and see all of these things. And that's what I'm planning to do, where I'm putting my money and doubling down on education. That's where we have to invest. Because guess what? A 10-year-old right now, in 10 years, is going to be 20. That goes like this. We have to double down on education, and that's where ISF, I think, is going to make its mark. And my legacy and the legacy of my family will be that we educated hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands or millions and millions of children. That's what we're going to do.
It's amazing that you use your famous to do something good. It was a pleasure, thank you.
You're awesome. Thank you for that question. It's very sweet. Are you guys, I know you're tired, but are you happy?
Yeah!
Good. I just wanted to check in. Hey!
Hello, brother.
Hello, sister. Hello, sister.
Hello, brother. Okay. First, I want to say that we all appreciate that your big heart, that you want the best for your family and for us and for everyone.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and my question is, what was your the hardest to play scene or on the Vampire Diary, oh my God, the Vampire Diaries or another movie, but in the Vampire Diaries,
Scene?
the hardest to play for you, or you were scared that it's not gonna be good? Or
Oh, well, that's almost every scene. You know, and I've talked about this many times in public. I think one of the most profound scenes that was very hard. You know, there's a couple different ways as an actor to work. You can work where you just make believe, or you work where, which is what I've done for many years, which is, and there's no right or wrong way to do it, but I take from my life, right, and I weave, like sewing a sweater, right? You weave the thread of life into the text of the script. So I take from my life, past, present, or future, and I put it into the character in that moment. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I forgot, I think it was season 2, episode, I think, 14 or 15. And there's a scene where Damon is laying in the street, and a girl pulls up and she stops because she doesn't want to run over someone. And she gets out of the car, remember? And he's there, and he has this flask, and he's drinking, and he's kind of out of it. But he's telling her these things that he knows he's going to kill her, and she will never be able to say it, but he needs to get it off his chest. And he missed being human. He missed humanity. And like, if you've ever known anyone with a substance abuse problem, I've known many people, but if you ever look at an alcoholic, or a lot of my friends' parents were alcoholics, you know, it takes them having drinks to be able to tell you what's really on their mind or in their heart. And then once they're sober again, they're like closed down. And that was Damon in that moment, but it was a very profound moment for me as a person. And it was really hard, and that was a very honest moment. And it took me like 2 days to come out of that. I was like depressed for like 2 days. But it was profound, and it was powerful, and I got to move on. But I got to fix some very important things in my life in that one scene. It was pretty cool. Kevin Williamson wrote that scene. Kevin wrote a lot of the Damon scenes in season 1 and 2, and that was very powerful. So, anyway, it was amazing.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I adore you guys. Sorry, I know I'll speak slower, and I know it's a lot of blah, 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 but you asked. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
So, first of all, I wanted to thank you for yesterday's autograph. Even though it was rushed, it was like amazing thing, and I'm so grateful for that.
Sorry to rush you.
it was amazing. And my question is, you've played a vampire for so long, so how do you feel with the fact that in the new show you will kind of having a fight against them? I don't know how to say it.
Yeah, you know, it is funny. I played a vampire for 8 years on television, and then I go back and do a vampire show again on Netflix. What the hell am I thinking? What am I thinking? I love the genre, and I know the genre so well. And as an executive producer, and I'm not a creator or co-creator of this show, but I have a lot of input. And it is pretty funny I actually love playing how delicate life is. On my show, if you get hurt or killed, you are done. No one's coming back. But what attracted me to V-Wars is that it was so relevant, right? It's dealing with everything that we're dealing with now. Racism, borders, politics, religion, fear, medicine. It's really relevant. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited that the stakes are real. Like if something happens to me in the show, it's for good, right? But it is odd. I spent 8 years on a vampire show and end up on another one. What the hell, man? That'd be like, if, after like Interview with a Vampire, if Brad Pitt did like 6 more vampire movies. That's like me doing an entire huge franchise and then doing another one. It's crazy. But it should be, we're working hard. We have a long way to go in V-Wars, but it's not going to have the same melodramatics. It's very kind of more raw and more relevant now. So, listen, even if you don't like the show, still watch it. And that way it'll give me another season and I can really go in deep and make it profound and awesome and sexy and fun and dangerous. I wanted it to be more in the vein of like 28 Days Later. Like 28 Days Later, Walking Dead kind of stuff. So that's what I'm aiming for.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
this weekend. It was amazing.
Thank you, thank you.
I love you so much. I hope
Love
I
to
see
you too,
again.
lady.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any idea when we can see the series? When it's gonna be coming out?
I literally, when I leave here, I have to go make a lot of notes on a couple of different edits and cuts. I've been up till 3:30 every morning before coming here. We're editing still. We're in post-production. I've been in post-production on this show for like almost 8 months. And we just did a bunch of reshoots, and we're gonna have to do some more reshoots, really fine-tuning stuff. So I know I'm supposed to deliver everything. My producing partner and I we have to deliver the show, and our editor, I think in like November. What was supposed to be a December release, but I'm not sure. December, January, but I want to get it right before we release it. But again, listen, season 1 of a show is often really difficult, right? You notice how like season 2 is typically way better than season 1? Because you've found your footing, you've found your voice, you've found the writing and the characters, so be patient. Be patient. There's definitely no like Damon, Elena kind of relationships. For me, it was about not producing a synthetic relationship where I had to simulate love. You know, I mean, the real relationship is between my best friend or my son and the show. So I was really going the opposite of Vampire Diaries. So, you know, again, even if you hate the show, just let it spin on your Netflix. So Netflix goes, oh, people really love this show. We're going to give Ian another shot at it.
Excellent. Are you guys excited to see the new show? Ian's show? Yeah? Very good. Sir.
Thank you, guys. What's up, man?
Hello again.
See you, brother.
I told you before that I'm a big fan of Lost. So my question is, what is your favorite memories of Lost time?
Oh, man. Lost was the most profound experience ever. I mean, we were living on an island. We were living in Hawaii. Duh. The most beautiful place in the world, other than Poland. And, you know, it was very hard to leave that show. That sucked. Because when you shoot a television show, it's like a family, right? It's a real family of people. And I didn't want to have to leave, that's for sure. The memories initially in the beginning of, you know, it's like 8 o'clock in the morning and you're on the beach in Hawaii and you're shooting the scene. And every once in a while you'd look up and you'd see one of the other actors sort of just taking it all in. And in that moment, I knew what they were thinking, which is, wow, this is insane. Like, this is amazing. We bought an L-1011, which is basically like a 767, and we put it on a giant ship, and we shipped it to Oahu, and we put it on the north shore of Oahu, and then we ripped it apart and set it on fire. And it looked like a plane crash. And there were tourists that would drive down the road, and they didn't know that this was a television show called Lost that was shooting. And they would get there in their, you know, like Jeeps. They're on vacation in Hawaii with their kids, and they pull up, and there's this giant plane on fire, and people are screaming, and they're like, ah! And they would, you know, pick up their giant cell phones and try and call 911, and, you know, 911 got all these phone calls like, there's a plane crash, there's a plane crash. Like, we know. It's a TV show. It's called Lost. It comes out in September.
Do you watch all seasons?
I didn't get to watch all the seasons, but it was a pretty profound thing because when Lost was finishing, I told you guys yesterday, when Lost was finishing, the last episode of season 6 of Lost was the last episode of season 1 of Vampire Diaries. And it was really amazing to be starting one journey and finishing another at the same time. It was very cool. It was powerful.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, brother.
Any more questions? We can do about, I don't know.
What's up, girl?
2, 3 more?
Hi.
We're going to do only 40 more questions. Raphael's going to kill me.
I'm cool. I'm game. I'm here all night if you want.
Yeah, whatever. Talk to me, girl. What's up?
Hi, Ian. I love you so much.
Love to
And
you too,
it's
kiddo.
kind of an obvious question, but
No. Next question. Anyway.
I wanted to ask you what you feel when you think about the fact that you have so much fans that love you and support you, and what it's like. Because for me, if I was you, it was crazy. So I want to ask you, like, what do you feel when you think about this?
It's the most humbling and wonderful thought to know if ever I'm having a bad day, because it's not just that I'm, you know, life isn't always just peachy just because you are an actor and you have a successful television show or people have a preconceived notion that you're rich and you're famous and everything must be just sunshine. It doesn't work that way. But you guys give me so much pride and love that it is insane. So I know that I've got you guys And that is a very humbling and very warm and amazing feeling. Really. My whole life changed because of this show, and you guys have given me so much love that it's crazy. So I thank you for that from the bottom of my heart. And I see your individual faces and your eyes and your smiles, and I get it. I understand. It's just an exchange of love and energy, and I'm right there with you. So I give it back to you as much as you give it to me, or I try to, in varying degrees of success. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, I love you.
How old are you, kid?
Excuse me?
How old are you?
15.
15. By the
Yes.
way, how brave do you have to be 15 to get up in front of 1,000 people and ask a
Yeah, I'm
question?
gonna cry.
Give her a round of applause.
Thank you, I love you.
You're awesome. Love to you too, kiddo.
Excuse me?
Love to you too, kiddo.
Thank you.
So crazy. I'm 26 or 25 years older than you. I could be your dad. That's crazy. I went to Poland 25 years ago. Shit, I might be your dad. No, I'm joking.
And I have another question about ISF, and that first I want to thank you for what your foundation did for animals. It's very important.
Thank
and
you.
It's great. And
A lot of
my-
animals. We've saved a lot of animals,
Yes,
and that's with your
yes.
support. So thank
It's great.
you.
And my question is, can the foundation cooperate with the Ukrainian Society for the Protection of Animals to solve problems with animals in Ukraine? And how best to get contact with your foundation in internet, maybe official site or Facebook? I don't know because I thought I can.
The
talk about-
the official site for sure. I mean, ISF right now, it's been a really wild journey. And by the way, thank you for doing what you do. That's another round of applause. If someone spends their life.
Thank you. Okay. But conversation is it can be possible or not.
Yeah, for sure. The thing about ISF right now is that we are undergoing, it's a massive undertaking. I wanted to build this thing so big and so fast, and I realized it was actually a mistake. Because you can't build something so fast that, we were in 180 countries. I didn't even know there were 180 countries, to be honest with you. But right now, we have scaled back a lot of our operations to really sort of step back and reconfigure what our priorities are. And animals, environment, and kids. That's, we can't live without animals because our lives would be very boring. We can't live with our environment. We have to protect it with everything that we have. And the greatest untapped, I wonder what the word is in Polish, but the greatest untapped natural resource that we have in the world is our youth. Kids are the greatest natural resource we have. So I plan on nurturing animals, environment, and kids. But if you nurture kids, you'll never have problems with animals or environment again. So we had to step way back with ISF and downsize everything in order for me to sort of distill and figure out what is the next path. So right now, there's not a tremendous amount of outreach right now with ISF, but the best way to talk to us is through the official site, for sure.
Okay.
Hands down.
Thank you. And one short question.
Yeah.
If you have one sip of beer, can I drink with you right now? Right now.
You can drink what?
With you right now. Can?
You're gonna drink with me?
Yeah.
Yeah, have a drink. Hell yeah, girl.
Can be only done in Poland, drinking
yeah.
on stage. Excellent.
Thank you. What's up, girl?
Hi.
Hi.
I actually hope you can give me an advice.
Okay, tell me.
because I start thinking about acting in the future. But I'm 26 years old right now, and I'm afraid that it's too late for me. And maybe you can tell me, how did you start, or maybe give me a little clue what could I do in this situation?
Okay, I hear you. I mean, listen, it is a very tough business to be in, but it is fulfilling, even if you work or you don't work. 26, you're 26, you're a baby. It's not over at 26. It's like, that's crazy thinking. But you have to want to do it, and Paul and I talk about this because a lot of people ask us that question, right? You have to want to, if you want to be an actor, and I mean that as an actor or an actress, but no one says actress anymore. They're actors, it's the same thing. If you want to be an actor, you have to want to do it for the right reasons. It's not because you want to be famous or you want to be rich. You do it because you love it, right? And the best thing is to study. But to take an acting class that means something to you. There are a number of amazing books out there. There's Larry Moss. There's a very powerful woman named Ivana Chubbuck who wrote a book called The Power of the Actor. 1,000%, if you want to be an actor, you have to read that book. I mean, without a doubt. So I would start there and then find acting classes in Warsaw or in London or anywhere, in Paris, wherever you're going to be, or in the United States. Start with studying and see how you do and if you really want to do that. And then you have to start auditioning and finding an agent. You know, it's a real path. But remember this. You have to be bold in your choices. Because I say this as a director and as an actor. As a director, if I see an actor auditioning for me for a role, and they're bold, and they make bold choices, not just the normal run-of-the-mill choices, I know that person has the ability to change. And I can always direct them back to what I need them to do on the page. But if they're bold and they're unique choices, that means they were thinking about it and they worked hard on that and they live it. That is what directors look for. I can always pull you back, you know, but I can't lift you up. And just like in life, you got to take chances. Because if it's the wrong choice, the director will tell you. It's not the end of the world, but you've got to be bold. You have to be bold and take chances.
Thank you so much. Love
Thank
you, Ian.
you.
Thank you.
Love to you too, man. Hello.
Hi, Ian.
How are you?
Thank you, I'm good. And I was wondering, how do you start working on a whole new script, on building a whole new character?
You know, that is an interesting question, and that is a long journey. God, I haven't done it in so long. It's so wild. When I went to start working on V-Wars, because the only thing I'd done was Vampire Diaries for almost a decade. I did a movie in the middle of Vampire Diaries. I waited 4 years to do a film. And then I went and did a film in England, and unfortunately, it sucked. It was called The Anomaly, and it just didn't work. I don't know how. Brian Cox was playing my father, and it was cool. It was a cool script, but it just didn't work. So I was devastated, and I was very upset for doing it. But when you break a character down, you know, it's like what resonates with you guys was the story. But the thing about Damon is that he was a terrible person, and you guys still loved him. Like, he could kill 5 people and you would make excuses. Oh, you know, he was fighting with Elena. I mean, this character could walk into an orphanage and kill 20 kids in cold blood, and you guys would go like, oh, well, he was having a bad day. He just killed 20 kids in cold blood. You guys are mental. But the difference was in that character was that he was vulnerable. And you could see his humanity sort of like trying to slip through the cracks. And that's what made that character amazing. In figuring out a character in a script, you know, again, you want to be true. I see you guys. You want to be true to the character, and I'm sorry, you want to be true to the script, but you also, again, you want to be bold and you want to be deep and you want to search within yourself for what is the most fun and unique choice. Because if ever you read a review of, I mean, a lot of the really great actors are gone now, but like if you read a review of Meryl Streep or Jack Nicholson or any of these like amazing, cool actors, it's never what they say, it's what they do. Acting is behavioral. You have to create behavior in order to be interesting and want to watch something. So try and create behavior. Unique, fun, engaging, and empowering behavior.
Thank you very much. I love you.
Love to you too, man. Does that make sense though? You know, it's like, it's really kind of it's like you want to be bold and you want to watch people that are interesting. I learned this on V-Wars, and actually it was a big trap. I wanted, because playing Damon, this like snarky, he was like a handsome, fun, super rich dude who could do anything he wanted and bite anyone he wanted and buy anything he wanted. But Dr. Luther Swan, I wanted him to be a normal, regular guy. He wears slacks and Patagonia, and he goes for a run in the morning, and he's just a normal, good dad, right? But he becomes a hero. But I realized no one wants to see an ordinary hero. They want to see an extraordinary hero. And I learned that, especially in this like Marvel age where everything has to either be like Batman, Spider-Man, Iron Man, Superman, Couchman. Like anything with a man behind it is an extraordinary hero, and people will spend billions of dollars seeing it. So it's been a real interesting journey for me as a producer and as an actor, as a director in this role. Hi, how are you?
Hi. My question is, was the bourbon real?
Was the what?
Was the bourbon real? Alcohol.
Sometimes.
Really?
Paul and I, initially, it's actually a really funny story. Paul and I initially, when we would drink bourbon, it's tea. But it's like 6:30 in the morning and you're shooting your first scene. You can't just be drinking bourbon. I mean, we'd be dead. But initially, we would drink tea, right? But if you have like, between all the takes, if you have 20 cups of tea, you're like, your nervous system, you're shaking and shit. So we had to go to non-caffeinated tea. So the bourbon was non-caffeinated tea. And then sort of sometimes when it was really late at night and you were just exhausted and you knew you didn't have to drive home, sometimes it was real.
Thank you.
Bourbon is a big part of my life, like it is Damon's. And it is an amazing spirit, and you'll be hearing more from me about bourbon, trust me. Hello.
Hi.
What's going on, girl?
I have one question about the Vampire Diaries.
Nope.
Okay, so I will ask.
About Vampire Diaries.
Yes.
I don't want to be a spoil. I don't want to
spoil the mood.
Spoil like your lives. We have to end like in the next
2 hours?
2 hours. So
Yeah.
I have to pee as well, and she has to go and eat something. And no,
Sure.
not in the bottle.
You can just pee in the bottle if you want.
Okay. Wait, one moment. I'll be back. We're not doing that. We would love to go forever, and we're gonna go a little bit longer.
So we'll do 2 more questions.
Yeah, sure, because, you know, I mean,
Everyone
I
is
was
literally,
I was
you guys
looking
are
at me
falling.
like this. Aaron is looking like me like this. Ref.
No, not at all.
No.
I just want you guys to realize and know, like, because we want to get to everyone, and I know it's been a long day. I'm so humbled to be here with you all, and I want to make sure I get questions from you so I can hear your thoughts and give you an answer. So tell me, what's your Vampire Diaries question?
So I have a question about the Vampire Diaries,
Yeah?
as I said. And are you standing after relationship Damon and Elena, or Stefan and Elena?
Wait, am I staying what?
Do you like
Do I
more,
prefer?
Do you, yes. Do you prefer more relationship Elena with Damon or Stefan?
Well, here's the thing. I think Stefan is such a more pure character. Stefan was such a pure and amazing character. I honestly think, listen, I was all the way Team Delena. It was a great relationship, but I learned this, and not to be like a total dick about it, but I learned very quickly that I shipped Elena and Damon like crazy. But when Nikki and I got together, I saw all the hatred on social media, and I was so pissed off and so kind of hurt that my fans and Elena's fans could be so mean to the woman that I loved that I was like, no more Damon and Elena. It's not worth it. If you are not an elevated person enough to realize that this is a fake relationship on television, that you would then use your real voice to demonize or be mean to a real human being who's an amazing human being, then you have no place as my fan. None.
Yeah.
That energy should not be tolerated in the world. The world is too crazy enough. How are we mean to each other about a fictional relationship on television?
Yeah.
That is insane to me. So I did love Damon and Elena until I saw the response on the internet, and I just went, I couldn't support that. I'm not going to support that.
TV series and real life is two different things. So
TV series and real life are two different things.
Yeah, I understand.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I encourage you all to, if there's anyone in this room that ever sent mean messages on Instagram because they were feeling upset about something, just check that. Check yourself and really look into yourself and think why you would do that and project that level of negativity. Television is very powerful, and our voices are even more powerful. So what you put out there is important. So even if you're having a bad day, try and project something that's meaningful to people around you. Always.
Okay.
Please. I beg of you. Thank you, little sister.
Thank you. I have to go now. Bye.
I know. Thank you.
Nice
Thanks for
to
being
see
awesome.
You and meet you.
You rock, man. Thank you.
Hi.
Hello.
So I have one question.
Tell me.
At the beginning, I would like to tell you that I love you so much.
Love to you too, sister.
Thank you. So I have a question about the Vampire Diaries.
Yeah?
If you would have a choice to pick who you could play on the Vampire Diaries, who would you pick? Except Damon, of course.
Do you remember the crow, the bird that... He was awesome. And I used to watch him on set. He's called a craven. He's part crow, half raven. The thing was this big. You don't realize it. It was huge. If he nipped your finger, he could break it. He could break your finger. He's quite a diva, too. He was a lot of fun. Honestly, I would not play anyone else in Vampire Diaries. Damon was the guy. That role changed my life. It was so much fun. I wouldn't play anyone.
Okay.
No one could play a better Damon than that man over there, don't you think, guys?
You guys are awesome. It was amazing. It was really I mean, look, it got me here with you guys, and it has afforded me a lot of amazing things in my life, but I learned so much about society and humanity as a result of playing this person who struggled with his humanity. The parallels are so unique. But what I learned is that I want to be on a quest with my life using this platform. You know, even just through my social media, if you break it down, I mean, I think it's, I don't remember the numbers at this point. I'm too tired. But I think it's like 40 million worldwide, globally. 40 million followers across all platforms. But when you leverage that out, it's about 300 million people a month total that I reach. That's a lot of people. That's the size of the US. But my goal in life is to appreciate yet inspire people to just be the best versions of themselves. Even if you're having a shit day, do everything you can to just be the best version of you. Because what you put out into the world, we all feel. And we're all just trying to be the best versions of ourselves. So let's lift each other up. And one thing I learned about this world, about playing Damon, was about women. You know, men are so stupid. They really don't understand women. We don't. But I did learn one thing, and I hope this changes. That if the world is going to be a better place, women have to support each other. And there's a weird biological thing that for some reason, women want to just cut each other down. And I don't get it. In the media, we play women against each other. You know, you look at you see 5 women, they're all wearing the same dress. It's like, who wore it best? Who fucking cares? Why would you pit these 4 or 5 famous women against each other? Why would you do that? Why would you teach young women to judge other women on a dress that they wore? Is this really our society? Don't buy into that shit, man. Just be kind to each other, and you will go to bed every morning, and you will wake up every morning feeling so good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You guys are amazing. I love you. I thank you. Thank you for staying so late to be with me. I'm sorry it took me 3 years to get to all of you, but there was a lot of autographs. I promise you it was 1,000. But I'm so thankful, and you're all so amazing. Thank you for sharing your stories and your energy and your kindness and your smiles. I hope that I didn't bore you too much. I love you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Warsaw Comic Con.
I love you guys.
This is our Ian Somerhalder.
Thank you guys so much. And I really look forward to the next time, and I love you back. I look forward to the next time that I get to spend time with you and have an amazing, amazing evening. Safe travels home. Please be kind to each other. Please. That's all I beg of you. Just try it for one day. Even if it just kills you, just try it one day and see how you feel. I love you guys. Bye.
Give it up one more time.
Good night, good night,
for
good night.
Ian Somerhalder.
Thank you, Poland. Thank you for the love and kindness and energy. I love you guys.